Yeah, welcome back to another edition of WaXed. Their next guest, always a pleasure to have him on the show. He's from my neck of the world, Northern California. He's one of the top surfers in the world, Nat freaking Young. Nat, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Just at home, enjoying, the little time I get to spend here.
Yeah, tell us about that. So right now, this is pretty much your little lull before you head to Hawaii for the Triple Crown. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a little break. We were just in Europe for a good amount of time. I think I was there for a month or 5 weeks, and now I'm just home gearing up for Hawaii and the end of the year. So, yeah, just hanging out, surfing, hanging with my friends, and yeah.
That's a good thing, man. I haven't, and I'm really sorry. I've been scrambling here. I didn't get a chance to really do much research before our interview tonight, or at the moment we're taping right now. But how are you doing this year? I believe last year, if I'm not mistaken, you won Rookie of the Year. Is that correct?
Yeah, last year I got Rookie of the Year. This year started out better than last year. I had a couple quarterfinals finishes, a second place finish, and then, I was in 7th place at the beginning of the year, and all of a sudden I just started. I've had 5 bad results in a row, so it's been a really frustrating year for me. I can't really pinpoint what I'm doing differently than what I was doing at the beginning of the year or doing last year. It's just I feel like I've been surfing well, and I've just had some strange heats where I've put up big heat totals and lost, and it's really frustrating, but I'm still working as hard as I can and trying to improve. And I know how it goes like this in most sports, so I'm just sticking with it and hoping I can turn it around next event.
Oh, and I'm sure you will. And you hear the old adage, sophomore slump, and for good reason. Maybe that's all that is. Maybe there's no science to this. Maybe it's just a matter of the second year in the tour, second year in your professional sport, and things just for whatever reason with most athletes in that second year, they just I don't know why that is, but it just kind of gets screwy. Is that how it feels to you?
Well, at the beginning of the year, I was like, people were saying like, it's sophomore year, most people have a sophomore slump. How do you feel? And I was like, well, I personally don't believe in the sophomore slump. I feel like, if anything, I should have a better year than I had last year. I've competed in each event last year, and I have a little bit more knowledge than I did last year. So, if anything, I feel like I should do better this year. And that's how the year started off. And, I felt like I paddled out to every heat, and kind of, it was just, I don't know, I simplified things, and I paddle out there and felt like I was making heats with, without thinking too much. I'd go out there and the 30 minutes I had, I'd come in and I'd make it through most of the heats I was surfing. And then all of a sudden I start losing, and all of a sudden I start thinking more and more, like, what do I need to do? Which way should I go on? Like, should I start with priority? Blah, blah, blah. I just start overthinking, and that's where I'm at right now. So
oh, that's all right, man.
Eventually I got to turn it around.
You're right. And I've watched the webcast for almost all the events, except for the Europe one always screws with me. For whatever reason, like, you guys are always on here in the U.S., especially the West Coast in California where we're at. It's always at like the middle of the night when you're competing in that contest. So I don't get a chance to really watch those that often. And I think you struggled in those 2 Europe events. But you mentioned earlier that you finished runner-up in one of the contests. Which event was that? I can't remember.
I finished runner-up in Fiji.
That's right.
I feel like for me, most people wouldn't expect that. So I feel comfortable surfing lefts and barrels, and so it was a cool event for me to get second place and just show that I am, I can do well in lefts, and it's not just I'm not just only good at going right. So
right.
It was a nice one to quiet down those people that think that.
Yeah, exactly. And truth is, like I said, you had such a strong year. I believe if the format's still the same, they dropped the 2 lowest scores, right? So you really have 3 low place finishes, and then the rest are pretty strong.
Yep, I'd have 3 low results, I guess.
Okay, that's not too bad. So you're safe for next year, right? I mean, you're not concerned about that, correct?
I'll requalify for next year.
Beautiful.
For sure.
Beautiful.
Yep.
I'm sure the entire community of Santa Cruz, where you're from, is relieved to hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think the last guy who surfed in the ASP World Tour from Santa Cruz was Rapogel. Is that correct? Is that who you succeeded after a huge 10, 15-year gap?
Yeah, Adam was the last guy. It's been about 10 to 15 years, I think.
Yeah, exactly. You're dude. I got to ask you this. So Omar, who's not here tonight, he's being a total bitch. So make sure you give him shit when you talk to him. But or even just spread the word that he's being a big pussy tonight, and he's not here to tape the interview. But Omar, once upon a time, had this nickname. He was called the Prince of the East Side. Because the dude would roll around, and maybe you heard that nickname, and he knew everybody. Every time I come to Santa Cruz and hang out with him, it never ceased to amaze me how many people he knew everywhere he went. And then I think about you, and you must be like tenfold what he was. I mean, you must be the king of all of SC. How is the reception when you're home? Are you treated like royalty?
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, everyone's not. I mean, I'm not too like a king, but I'm just saying everyone's very, very nice to me, and they follow along with my contest, and they like to talk to me about my heats and each event, and it's awesome to have that support here. It's a big, surf community in Santa Cruz. Whether people don't, not everyone here surfs, but I feel like most people here know about what's going on in the surf world, and it's really cool to have that support.
Oh my God, the surf culture there is phenomenal. And listen, I've traveled the world, not as much as you have, but I'm adamant when I say this, that the best waves in the world on a consistent basis are in Santa Cruz. Just given how many options you have, even if you leave the town and go north a little bit or south a little bit, it's a phenomenal surf scene. I mean, the waves are so pristine. Does it now, going back to the people, coming up and talking to you about your surf results and how you're doing, does it ever get old? Like, do you sometimes just don't want to talk about that, or are you still just enjoying this run?
I mean, I'm enjoying my whole, everything I get to do. I enjoy it. I do, the conversations get a bit old just because I feel like I'm talking about the same thing every single time. I feel like I've practiced the same conversation a lot. I think it's, when I do good, I don't mind talking about it. When I do bad and everyone's like, what happened, this and that, it's like, I know what happened. I don't need to explain it to everyone. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the hard part. But, I really enjoy how stoked people are on watching me and my success, or whether, it's cool. It's rad to have that support from my hometown. So.
Oh my God, I can imagine. You're still single, correct? You haven't taken a dip into the dark side, have you?
I do have a girlfriend.
Oh no! Well, she must be worth it. I mean, who is she?
I'm at dinner with her right now.
You guys live together in Santa Cruz?
No, I said I'm at dinner with her right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So who is she? Tell us about her.
I don't know. Her name's Tia. Ever since I started hanging out with her, I started doing crappy, but I don't blame that on her. I don't blame that on her. It's all on me. So,
that's funny.
But yeah, no, it's cool. It's rad.
That's so funny. Did she hear you when you said that?
No, I'm outside. I walked outside.
Dude, where are you grabbing dinner, by the way, in Santa Cruz? This is taped, so don't worry about people hearing it and rushing to you.
I'm at Suda. It's a restaurant on the east side. One of my friends owns it, Mike Pitt. He's from I don't know. It's a nice place.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah.
And so and going back to the World Tour, man, this seems like in general, if people follow it as intensely as I do, it's been a kind of a screwy year. I mean, Gabriel Medina is on track to win the world title. Kelly, I feel like in many ways has gotten results similar to you, where it just doesn't make any sense. He just struggled, right? Like Portugal is a great example of that. What's your what's the mood on the ASP World Tour, man? You guys are all really close. You all traveled these places together. Is it a general consensus that this is kind of an off year for most people, or is it just par for course?
Well, I think it's honest. I think it's an on year for a few guys and an off year for a lot of guys. I feel like, Kelly's had a pretty average year for himself. I don't think he's made. He won. Oh no, I don't think he's won a contest this whole year. So
he hasn't.
Yeah, he hasn't won one event. And you know what? He's had these opportunities where Gabriel loses, and it's a great opportunity for Kelly to gain some ground on the world title, and Kelly loses that same round that Gabriel loses, and it's a pretty big missed opportunity, which I think normally he would take advantage of that. But then there's guys like Gabriel who won 3 events, Michelle's won 2, Mick won 3. It seems like those 3 guys have really dominated this year.
Yeah,
as of lately, obviously John has come on if the way he's been surfing lately, if he would have been surfing like that at the beginning of the year, he'd be winning the world title. So
yeah, that's very.
Yeah, it's just been a great year because it's so close, and it's a really interesting world title.
Very interesting, no question, and it's always amazing and fantastic when it comes down to pipeline. You want that last event to determine who's going to win the world title. On the tour, like what's like how does it work? Like who are your really close friends on the tour? Like who's your little clique?
I hang out with Kalohe and Brett, probably the most. Brett Simpson.
And you have a girlfriend? That's crazy.
What?
And you have a girlfriend hanging out with those two?
Brett's married. He's got a kid. I've known Kalohe since we were, since I was 12, 13 years old.
Right.
So he's my best friend on tour for sure. And, I'm really close with Michelle Perez and Miguel Pupo. A lot of the guys on tour I'm really close with. So it's fun. Traveling with the Hurley team and hanging out with a lot of the guys on Hurley, we have a lot of fun.
And that's a great team to be on, Hurley, man. That is the cream of the crop, without question to me. Maybe like Hurley and Volcom might be. Well, Hurley, Volcom, Red Bull. Would you agree with that? Would that be like your three big ones to be?
Yeah, Hurley, Nike, Red Bull. Those are pretty awesome companies.
Huge, and Hurley's right up there, man. That's amazing that you're part of that. Like talking about Kelly, like do you guys socialize with him? Is he on like another level where you guys almost look up to him? Because shit, I would. I mean, if I'm competing with Kelly Slater, I'd probably be looking at him like wanting to take pictures with him, looking at him like a celebrity. How do you guys like interact with him? Is he just a regular guy to you, or do you guys have that certain level of kind of where you're looking up to him a bit?
Well, yeah. I mean, for me, I'm a complete different generation. It's someone I looked up to, and I read his book Pipe Dreams when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's kind of someone I've definitely idolized since I was a little kid. So it's a bit weird for me. It's like at first I was a bit starstruck, and now, he's a rad guy. He's always, he's a big. It's cool because he's always around the events, watching heats, and just excited to watch surfing contests.
Mm-hmm.
And, so it's cool. He's always got his opinion on the scores and this and that, and it's fun to hear.
Yeah, he's highly intelligent. I mean, I've interviewed him 6 times. He's highly intelligent. He loves surfing more than anyone could possibly imagine. And you're right, and he's just a good guy in general. Have you competed against him directly in a one-on-one heat, or at least the 3-mans, if not that?
Yeah, I've had a few heats against him this year. I don't think I've beat him once. So I beat him one time at the lane when I was a wild card, but this year I haven't beat him once. He's got me when it counted.
Oh, that one time's enough, though, right? That's all that matters.
At one time I was 1-0 against him, and now I think I'm like 1-2 or 1-3.
Well, welcome to the club, right?
Yeah.
He does that to everybody. I know you got to run, man. Real quick, dude. We're both from Northern California. I mean, when I say Northern California, geographically, it's really more like central, because Northern's like Humboldt and all that stuff. But for semantically speaking, it's Northern California. We're both from the Bay Area. We're both huge sports fans. Are you a Giants fan?
Yeah, I am a huge Giants fan. When I was younger, I played baseball a lot, and it was really between like baseball and surfing what I was going to do, because my dad was a huge baseball fan, and I chose surfing. But I'd follow baseball religiously when I was little, and I'm not quite as much of a diehard as I used to be, but I always enjoy watching the Giants do well. And this last week at home was a hectic week. It was a fun week, but there was some exciting times watching those guys win, and inspiring times too. Absolutely.
If you're a Giants fan, you must have been loving it. And I saw you on Twitter. Your Twitter handle is Nat Young NY. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And is it the same with Instagram?
My Instagram name is just my name, Nat Young. I think Nat_Young.
Oh, so who took the original Nat Young? Who's that piece of shit?
Yeah, this world champ that was born before me.
Oh, he has it? Oh, the original Nat Young has the handle?
Oh, I don't know. I think maybe he has a Twitter one. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well,
I'm not worried.
So your Instagram handle is Nat_Young. I saw on Instagram a few days ago you went to the Warriors game. I'm a huge Warriors fan. Dude, that team, in my opinion, could win the world title this year. I don't know what you think. What are your thoughts?
I went to the home opener the other night. I think it was Saturday night.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, man, they looked amazing. It's a young team, and they got a new coach, but, like Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, and it's a really exciting team to watch. And, I'm not sure if they're playing tonight, but right now they're 3-0, so that's a great start to the season.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, man. The game you went to, I believe, was the Lakers game, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
It was.
And, yeah, they dominated that game. And then they beat Portland in Portland. They're doing this without David Lee. Dude, this is a legit team. I don't know how much you watch them, but I'm a huge Warriors fan. And I saw you take that picture on Instagram. And you can follow Nat Young on Twitter, Nat Young NY, on Instagram, Nat_Young. I'm sure on Facebook, if you just search Nat Young, you can find him. Do you give us all your who's paying your bills? And list us all the sponsors. I know you got a bunch of them.
Yeah, Hurley has been very supportive, and Channel Island Surfboards, you know, that's a huge one for me. That makes me great boards for everywhere I get to go. And I just use Creatures. I ride for Creatures and Leisure, the stomp pads and leashes. Just the main things.
Beautiful. It's a great lineup, man. I love it. Dude, you're killing it. I know you're in this like little whatever thing. I know you're going to rebound. You're an incredible surfer. Dude, we're huge fans of yours. Dude, wishing you all the best in Hawaii, man. I hope you dominate out there. And dude, thanks for taking some time out, man. Go back and enjoy dinner. Sorry for taking some time up tonight with your girlfriend.
Yeah, all right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Nat. Have a great night, man.
All right.
Later. Yeah. And that was Nat Young here on WaXed Surf Talk Radio.
That is it for us today, and we will leave you with a... I can't do it. No. We'll do it live. Do it live. And thing sucks.